Hey guys, welcome back to my channel SAP with IK. Hope you're all doing good. So today in this video we'll be discussing about the final inspection at the goods receipt from the production process. So let's say while processing the process order or maybe a production order where we basically manufacture the semi-finished material or the final product or the finished product. So as soon as the manufacturing process has been completed, so that should be sent to the quality inspection to perform few characteristics, to look at the specification of that particular product. So in order to do that, we need to enable a few prerequisites in SAP where the quality inspection lot will be created as soon as we perform the goods receipt against the process order or a production order. So let's see in this slide how this basically works. So if we look at this cycle here, so basically it deals about the complete process of the semi-finished or maybe a finished product right from the creation of the demand plan until the quality inspection process. So the first step is where we basically create a demand plan in case of a make to stock scenario. So let's assume this is a make to stock scenario and now we are expecting to have a quality inspection lot created as soon as we do the goods receipt. So once the demand plan has been created and then the MRP has been executed, so based on the net requirement calculation, we have a planned order proposed by MRP. So this planned order will be converted into a process order or maybe a production order, and that depends on the mode of business. So here we'll take an example of a process order. So now the planned order has been converted into the process order, and to process the process order, we basically might have few steps on to approve and release the process order. Okay, so as soon as we release the process order to execute the manufacturing steps, so there we will have an intermediate inspection lot that will be that can also be created. So this is called as an in-process inspection lot that has the inspection type as 03. So we will get into this more details maybe in a different video. So yeah, so once the process order has been created, so the next step is basically to perform the goods issue of the raw materials or the components against the process order. And once the goods issue is completed, we then go into the confirmation of the phases in the corresponding process order. So after the confirmation is done, the next step is basically that we perform the goods receipt against the process order in the transaction may go. So as soon as we post the goods receipt, that is where the 04 inspection lot will get triggered in SAP automatically. So this inspection lot will basically hold the complete set of inspection characteristics that should be performed to evaluate the quality of that particular finished or the semi-finished material. As soon as the goods receipt is posted against the process order, if we have the QM setup enabled for that particular material, so then the stock will be posted into the quality inspection stock, and then we have the 04 inspection lot created. So once we have the lot created, so the next steps are basically to perform the result recording on those characteristics that we have basically predefined in the inspection plan against that particular material. And then once the characteristics have been evaluated and then we found that all these characteristics are within the specified range or within the tolerance limit, then we go with the next process of usage decision. So while we post the usage decision, this is where the quality inspector will basically tell in SAP saying that the characteristics have been evaluated and the material has been accepted by the QA team or the QC team. So as soon as the UD is posted, the stock will get moved from the quality inspection to unrestricted use. So this is where the stock will be ready for use as soon as it has been posted into the unrestricted stock. So let's get into SAP and look at the prerequisites. Okay, so here we are in SAP and I'm in the MD04 of this particular finished product. So I'm going to use this as an example for today's case. And as we can see the stock statistics here in MD04, we do have an available quantity of 300. And this is a past requirement with the VSF for the 300, which has been completely fulfilled, and the available stock is 0 now. So let me just add a new VSF, let's say for the month of October for 400. And so this is where I'm basically creating a demand. So now we have a shortage of 400 kgs. So now I'm going to run MRP and refresh the screen. So we have a planned order that will get converted into a process order in the next steps. So here, as you can see in the MD04 screen here, we do have several shortcuts. And if you are interested to know how to create these shortcuts, please do watch my other videos. And please don't forget to look at the videos or the links that I have mentioned under the description for each and every video. So there I have actually placed the complete details of the videos that have been uploaded so far in our channel, and also a direct link where you can just click and navigate to the corresponding topic as you need. Okay, so now to look at the master data, let's go back to the material master first to look at the master data. So here we basically need to enable the quality management view for this particular material, which should go through the quality inspection process. And if we go into the inspection setup, you need to make sure that the inspection type 04 has been enabled, and we have this checkbox activated here as active. Okay, so with this activation of the 04 inspection type, only then the system will know that this particular material will be posted to the quality inspection stock and will undergo the quality inspection process. So the details that you see here on the inspection type, these are actually pre-configured based on the inspection type. So each and every inspection type will have its own set of predefined configuration setup. Okay, so now we have the inspection setup enabled in the material master, and the next thing is that we need to make sure that we have a quality inspection plan created for this. So for that, we are going to use the transaction QP01 to create, 2 to change, and 3 to display. So since I've already created the inspection plan, I'm going into the change with the transaction QP02. So here, this is my inspection plan that has been created for this material, and we have one operation, and one operation can have multiple inspection characteristics. So here I've just created one inspection characteristics to look at the pH value against this particular material once the manufacturing is completed. And here each of these MICs are basically categorized as a quantitative or a qualitative. So in case you are measuring something in terms of a particular value, then that will be considered as a quantitative inspection characteristic, or the MIC. So in basically call it as MIC, but this is basically called as a master inspection characteristic. So since we are having a specific value that should be measured, that will be categorized as a quantitative. If I go into the details of this MIC, and if I go into the quantitative data, so my lower limit, my lower permissible limit is 40, and the upper limit is 50. So the characteristic should be evaluated, and the measured value or the actual value should lie within the permissible limit of 40 and 50. Only then this particular characteristic will be accepted by the system. And if the measured value or the actual value is out of this range, it may be less than 40 or maybe greater than 50. In that case, the characteristic will be marked as rejected. Okay, so that will be done automatically by the system while we perform the evaluation process. So now we have the inspection plan created as well, and make sure that we have the usage as goods receipt and also the status as released. Okay, so which means that the inspection plan will be considered by the system when we perform the goods receipt of this particular material. Okay, and the status will be as released. But in case you are basically modifying an inspection plan, or you would like to adjust a few characteristics, but you don't want system to basically make it available during the manufacturing process. So then you can mark it as in creation phase, or maybe you can block it. I mean, you can basically create your own status and update it here. Okay. So we have the inspection plan created. We have the quality inspection activated in the material master. That's it. Now we are good to go with the process. So let me go back to MD04. Yeah. So now here we have the planned order proposed by MRP, and I'm going to convert this into a process order. So in the process order, we do have two materials or two components, RM1 and RM2, which are basically batch managed. So I'm going to execute batch determination for this. Okay. And if you are interested to know about the batch determination process and how to activate the batch determination, please do watch my other videos, and that will also be mentioned under the description of this video. So now we have the batch determination completed for the components, and if we look at the goods receipt tab, we have the batch number with the prefix zeros, 843. That is the batch that we are going to manufacture now for this particular material. So now the next step is basically to perform the release activity and save the order. So in case of a 03 inspection lot or an in-process inspection lot, we will have the inspection lot for 03 already created. I mean, since we have actually released the process order, and that would be visible in this particular tab under the assignment in this particular field, the inspection lot. So this is basically for the 03 inspection lot, but for this particular example, we are not using 03 today, so this is showing us a blank. Okay, so now we have the process order. The next step is to perform goods issue. So I'm going into MyGo. Goods issue, yeah, and here we have the quantities that will be consumed. Okay. So now we are good to post. So now the consumption has been posted, and the next step is to go with the confirmation process, where we use the transaction COR6N. So I'm going to copy the process order and phase 20, and this is going to be a final confirmation. Okay, and I'm going to click on save. So the confirmation is completed. The next step is to perform goods receipt. So under the goods receipt, I'm going to enter the process order. So here we have the details of it. So I'm going to enter the number of containers and then check. Yeah. So these are a few mandatory fields. And then check. Yeah, now it is good. So here, if you observe carefully, we have the stock type showing us quality inspection. So if we do not have the 04 inspection type enabled, then the stock type would show as unrestricted use. Okay, and so here we have the batch details updated. So I think we are good. Yeah. So check. Okay, and then post. So now the goods receipt has been completed against the process order. So now if I go back to MD04 and refresh the screen, so my expectation is basically that as soon as we perform the goods receipt against the process order, it should be disappeared from the MD04 screen, right? And since we have the QM activated now, the process order will be replaced with a QM lot, or maybe the quality inspection lot. So yeah, I just refreshed, and you can see we have the quality inspection lot created. And if I go into the details of the stock, into the stock overview, so here is the batch we just manufactured. It is 843, and you can see that the 400 kgs is now sitting under the quality inspection stock. So we cannot basically move this particular stock from quality inspection to unrestricted by using any transfer posting options if we have activated the 04 inspection lot. So system would not allow you to do so. So since we have a QM lot available, we have to clear this through this particular inspection lot itself. And to clear the inspection lot, we can navigate to the transaction QA32. So this is a kind of a report, or maybe used as a transaction as well, where you can perform the result recording and the usage decision in one screen itself. So here I'm going to enter the material code, or you can directly enter the batch. It's up to you. We have several options, and we do have a few options for the dynamic selections where you can provide the details of these parameters. Okay, so for now I'm not going to use it. And here I just entered the material, and down below you can see we have three options, right? These three radio buttons. If you'd like to select all the inspection lots, then you choose the first radio button. And if you'd like to select only the inspection lots for this combination without a usage decision, which means in process inspection lots are not processed yet, so then you choose the second radio button. And for the third radio button, to select only inspection lots with a usage decision. So basically with these combinations, whatever you have provided in the selection screen, if you'd like to see the inspection lots which have gone through the usage decision, so all those lots would be displayed, but not the in process ones. Okay, so for now I'm going to use the second option to go to display the inspection lots which are not yet posted with the usage decision. So I'm going to execute, and also you have the option to provide the inspection lot origin. If it is like in process, you can use 03, and if it is goods receipt inspection, then you can just type in the 04 inspection lot here. For now I'm going to leave it as blank and then execute. So we can see we have two inspection lots that are yet to be processed. So I do have this particular option where you can choose several other fields that you would like to see, or maybe add to this particular layout and customize for your particular user ID. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Yeah, so the first one has been cancelled. It's a different transaction, and we do have this one ending with 2703 that we have to process. So the first thing is basically, since we have the characteristics assigned to the inspection plan, so we have to perform the result recording. So I just need to click on the results icon, and then here we can see the specifications, the lower limit and the upper limit in which the characteristic will be evaluated, or the pH value. So I'm going to inspect one, and my actual value is, let's say, 45. So as soon as I enter the actual value, you can see that the evaluation has been automatically accepted by the system, and this particular characteristic has been completed. As you can see here, we have this checkbox enabled for under accepted column. But if I want to reopen this for processing, maybe I'll put the value as 55, so which is basically out of the permissible limit, and you can see that the valuation has been rejected by the system, and now we have this reject column activated by the system. Okay, so I'm going to put this in process again, and then assign the value, let's say 43. So since it is in the limit, it has been accepted. And the next thing is basically to save the inspection lot. And if you refresh, you can see that the state updated as RREC, which is result recording has been completed. So the next step is to perform the usage decision. And here we can see the characteristics and also the actual value that has been updated while result recording. So since I see that the characteristic has been marked as evaluated, I'm okay to pass this particular inspection lot or the batch into unrestricted use. So here we do have several usage decision acceptance codes and also the rejection codes. So I'm going to put it as accept. And now under the tab of inspection lot stock, so here I have a few options where you can choose the storage locations and also the stock categories. So in case of a rejection, you would like to directly post this rejected stock into the block stock, right? So there you can update the stock to be in this block stock. But now in this case, since we have accepted it, that is going to sit in the unrestricted use. So I'm going to put it as 400 here. And before this, let me just show you this stock for this finished product. This is still sitting under quality inspection. Okay, so now I'm going to post the UD, the usage decision, and then click on save and refresh. So now the lot has been disappeared from here. Why? Because I have choose the radio button to only see the inspection lots without a usage decision. But if I go with the third radio button with a usage decision, so here we have the inspection lot that we just processed, and you can see that we have a green light saying that the lot has been processed. Okay, so now if I go back to MMBE and click on refresh, the stock should go from the quality inspection to the unrestricted stock, to the unrestricted use. So that's what we can see here on this particular batch. And the same way, if I go back to MD04 and refresh this, my expectation is basically to see that the QM lot will get disappeared and the stock will be increased to 700 here. So refresh, and now we can see that the stock has been moved to unrestricted, and we have a total availability of 700 kgs. So this is how basically the QM inspection works well integrated with the production process. That's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also click on the bell icon to receive updates. We'll meet again soon in our next video. Until then, take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye-bye.